What is going on, Swoopers? Welcome back to another episode of Swoop Luke. In this episode, we'll be previewing the huge clash, the 15th versus 16th on the ladder clash of Adelaide and Collingwood. Let's just do it. Just before we jump straight into it, make sure to follow me on all my social media accounts. Instagram, always posting the best stuff, the latest news, whether that be good news or bad news, you're going to get it first on over at Swoop Luke on Instagram. Also follow me on TikTok and also follow me on Twitter. They'll be all popping up down below. If you are a new swooper, new to these videos, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever I release these videos. There are a lot of videos in the works, so get that notification bell going. If you are a returning swooper, welcome back. Thank you so much for rejoining me. You mean the world to me. I love you all very much. When we get to 2,000 subscribers, I'll be giving away that Collingwood home Nike jersey. It's beautiful. It's glorious. And I'm going to give it away to you for free. So be sure to tell your family, tell your friends to sub. Once we get to 2,000, that draw will happen. Anyway, let's just jump into this review. So our last 3 games against Adelaide have all been at Adelaide Oval. Our most recent coming in round 11 last year in the middle of the hub. We know what happened there. We won, but Adelaide, they were obviously last on the ladder. They hadn't won a game, I'm pretty sure, at this point. They looked like they were going to roll us. But up steps in Lyndon Dunn, kicks that goal upon his return, and crowd goes wild. The guys go wild. I was going wild in the lounge room. It was so good to see that. And look, we'll just quickly go over some of the stats. Not that they really matter, but you know how it be. So we had Rusco kicking 2, Stevo kicking 2, but Adams 27 disposals and Tom Phillips 22 disposals. It wasn't a pretty game. I do remember that. Yes, we won by 20-something points, but it was on the back of Adelaide being not that good. And we know now that Adelaide are a very different team. They're only 15th. They've won 4 games, so 2 more than us. But we know that they're a very different team now than what they were last year. Matthew Nicks has got them playing some pretty good football, seeing as they were from where they were last year. So we can't rely on that game too much. That 5-goal third quarter does help. We definitely need a 5-goal, one of these 4 quarters. But that was last year. Way different ball game this year. So in the last 5 weeks, the trajectory between Adelaide and Collingwood have been pretty much the same. 1 win in each of our last 5 games. Our one coming against the Kangaroos. Adelaide's coming against top of the table Melbourne. They stopped their winning streak. They beat them by 1 point. Tex Walker kicks that goal. And, the rest, as they say, is history. Adelaide in the last few weeks have not been setting the AFL world on fire. If you look at it here, they got done by Richmond by 30-odd points. They obviously beat Melbourne by a point. They got done by 30 points against the Eagles. Lost to Port Adelaide by 50 points. And lost to GWS by about 70 points. So their average losing margin, sits at about 40-odd, 35-40-odd, off the top of my head, quick math. So they were winning games at the start of the year. Now they've slowed down a little bit. It could be tired legs. It could be, young kids and stuff like that. But you never underestimate a team like this, especially when they only beat Melbourne 2 weeks ago. When it comes down to us, it's the same old, isn't it? We know what happened last week to Geelong. We lost by 10 points. That scoreline does flatter us a little bit because we've got a lot of junk time goals. And then we lose to Port Adelaide by a point. That dismal performance against Sydney. We beat the Kangaroos. Then we get trounced by the Suns on our home turf. So, look, our average losing margin is a lot less. But the way that we've been playing in these last few weeks has been abysmal. And I'll talk about this a little bit later. But our form going into this game isn't great. Okay, 3 wins, obviously. 3 losses in a row isn't great just in general. But you could have 3 losses in a row and still play good football. We've got 3 losses in a row and playing bad football. So, not good form going into this. Look, every game is a must-win game. We'll say that, right? This is a must-win because of what's happening, and I'll talk about it a little bit later, but it is a must-win because of everything that's happening at Collingwood at the moment. So key areas and matchups. We will talk a little bit about some matchups. The key area that I want to talk about now, and I really haven't had the chance to really talk about it too much, is the G word. Game plan. What's going on? What is going on? We are in no man's land at the moment. It's been talked about all over Jonathan Brown, on the couch, AFL 360, Footy Classified, game plan shocking. Very defensive. Look, don't get me wrong. A defensive game plan does win you games, obviously, right? But you need to score more than your opponent, okay? You can, like we let Geelong have 60 points or 61 points, which is really good, but we only scored 50. We obviously, we didn't win because we didn't score more goals than them, because we were more worried about defending and, saving goals than we were about scoring goals. And that's just been a trend over the last couple of years. In 2018, we had a great mixture of very good defense and very good attack. And now that's all gone out the window. Some say it's because Justin Longmire. I don't know what Longmire. I'm pretty sure. I always get it wrong. God. Matthew Boyd go out as well. Gary Hocking goes out as well. So there are a lot of factors, but that doesn't discount the fact that this game plan that we're playing, the guys looking to, instead of looking straight, they get the ball, they look to the side, or they look back, or they handball back. They're not taking the game on. They haven't got that dash. They haven't got that dare. That's what kills us. And I'm not going to be a broken record because it's been played out in the media so hard this week. But that's just my 2 cents on it. And the key area in this game is just, I'd rather lose with style than lose how we've been losing these last few weeks. I'd rather lose by 50 points, but if I can see that we are attacking, we are taking the game on, we are going through the corridor, we're not looking back, we're gaining meters, and we lose by 50 points, I can take that. I can absolutely take that. But if we lose by 10 points to a Geelong like last week, playing the way we did, boring, unimaginative football, that is what I just can't stomach that. The game becomes unwatchable. It becomes just a slog. It becomes a slog. Look, I'll admit it. That game was so boring last week. I was mopping the floors. I was mopping my floors. That's how bored I was. And I run this YouTube channel and the Instagram. And I was mopping the floors because that game was just shit-outs to watch. Let's hope we can turn it around. Couple key matchups that I really want to look at. Max Lynch, he has a huge job coming up against Riley O'Brien and whoever they've also got in the second ruck. This is Max Lynch's shot. Call Max Lynch Hamilton because he has to take his shot, right? No Grundy for the next 2 or 3 weeks. Lynch has to be that guy. And he does play well in the VFL. Just has to convert that over. I think he only played that one game against Brisbane last year. Didn't do too well, but he has to show us. He has to show us that he can play. And we know he can play. He just has to show us that. It's going to be different. Not having Grundy there, will clearances go down a little bit? Or will not having Grundy there, as much as you don't want to say it, will the team work a little bit better? Do ruck contests go our way a little bit more? These are the things that you're going to start weighing up, especially Max Lynch now. He's had another preseason under his belt, more training. Take the game on, son. Some other players that we have to look out for is Ben Keys and Rory Laird. They rack up the numbers. They do a lot of Adelaide's damage. So if we can kind of nullify their work, we'll go on to winning this game. Also, Adelaide are ranked 18th in kicks per game, 18th in disposals per game, 18th in marks per game. That means that they don't like playing that sort of, kick mark sort of game. They're a more direct team. We've got to stop that run, and we got to play. Look, I don't want to say keepings off football because that's what it kind of was last week against Geelong. We just got to match them. We do have to match them. We know in my preview for the Gold Coast game, I said that Gold Coast were, they didn't do a lot of kicking and marking, and we had to run. Gold Coast changed their game plan. They did a lot of kicking and marking. So could we see that from Adelaide this week? And they try and over-possess the ball and play a bit of keepings off us. So, ins and outs this week. Jamie Elliott comes back. That attacking prowess comes back. We get that high marking, the guy that wants the ball, demands the ball. That means Jordan De Goey could possibly see a lot more midfield time, and he smashed in the midfield last weekend. Max Lynch comes in, as we said, ruckman for Brodie Grundy. Jay Rantel comes in, amazing, and Josh Thomas, a very good pressure player, comes in. Seeing that we didn't have Bo McCreary doing that pressure stuff, Josh Thomas comes and takes that spot from him. Going out, omitted, Callum Brown gets omitted. Look, if you read socials and stuff, you could probably see that this was long overdue. I did think he had a good game last week, though. Took a couple of good marks, did a couple of good things, but a run in the twos is definitely what he needs. Brodie Grundy with that neck injury. Finn comes out of that starting 23 because he's a medical sub. Chris Mayne is managed, and Tom Wilson jumps out as well, omitted. I don't think Tom Wilson did much wrong last week, but young kid, he's only played, 2 or 3 games. Goes back into the VFL if he's not an emergency. Gets a bit of form back, that's fine. This stuff happens, so look at Ollie Henry. Predictions and big calls. I think we actually might win by a lot. I'm tipping a 34-point win. Big call is Jamie Elliott kicks 4 goals on his return to the senior side. So, this is a must-win game because, like I mentioned before, there is a lot of things going on at Collingwood at the moment, and a win, although using my analogy that I always use, it's a band-aid over an earthquake. I think it's the band-aid that we definitely need, just to kind of simmer down a little bit and let the background work do the background work. The boys need to win as well. They really, really do. The boys don't go into games thinking that, we're going to lose this one. We're not going to play this. We're not going to play this. They put their ass on the line, and we can sit down on the couch and tweet about how so and so isn't doing a good job, and I do it too. I'm guilty of that. That's fine. We can all have our opinions and stuff like that. But these guys need to win just for morale around the club, I reckon. The Buckley situation, the EGM situation. Let's just get the dub and settle the hell down, okay? Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far, I really do appreciate you all. What I'm going to do as well, if you're watching this, hopefully I've done it by this time, I'm going to spend half an hour, 45 minutes on YouTube tomorrow going through all the comments in the last few videos because I really do appreciate it. It's just so hard to keep up because you guys are so dedicated and I do love it, every single one of you. But in the meantime, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets, and until next time, double shackers, I'll swoop you later.
Ooh la la.